My greetings to all. Today's mini grammar tutorial is another tutorial on tenses, and it's going to deal with using the past perfect and the past simple in complex sentences. Like I told you before, complex sentences are very crucial and important for communication and writing because they allow you to use more words and they provide you with depth and coherence to your communication or writing. Now let's start with these structures. The past simple. Let me remind you that the past simple comes as one verb only. It's either regular or irregular, just like you see. These two are regular and these two are irregular. While the past perfect comes in the structure of had plus past participle or verb 3, had studied, had slept, or had driven. Now, my advice to you before we go on. Now, when you read past perfect sentences and compare them with past simple sentences, and if you try to translate these two, or actually the past perfect sentences in your mother tongue language, you would find out that both the past perfect and the past simple, they both have the same meaning. Simply because in many languages all over the world, the tense perfect is not available. Therefore, we can't depend so much on translation. Now, so how are we going to understand the meaning of past perfect sentences? Simply by using them with the past simple sentences in one complex sentence. Now, to be able to join these two, tables, the first one, the past perfect, and the other one, the past simple, basically we should depend on functions. And we should also depend on link words or transitions. Transitions or link words allow us to join sentences together. As you can see, the two major link words or transitions that I am going to use are after and before. So simply, I had brushed my teeth. I went to sleep. So you say, after I had brushed my teeth, this is action one. So we can say also that these are action one, and these two are action two. Okay? So now basically action one happens first and then action two. Okay? So action one happens first and then action two. So after I had brushed my teeth, I went to sleep. Or you could say, before I went to sleep, I had brushed my teeth. Moreover, after I had eaten lunch, I washed my hands. Or you could say, before I washed my hands, I had eaten lunch. After I had washed the car, I went to my friend's house. So the second action happened after the completion of the first action in a very long period of time. This is very important because in another tutorial, we're going to use two past simple sentences in one complex sentence. And in that case, the two verbs happen one after the other. And there is only a short period of time between the first action and the second action, or the second action and the first action. Okay? So again, the second action happened after the completion of the first action in a long period of time. Or you could say the first action happened before the completion of the second action in a long period of time. As easy as that. Okay? Now, the same sentences with a bit more elaboration. Okay? So now, as you can see, like I told you before, the past perfect is always action 1, and the past simple is always action 2, verb 2. Okay? These are the sentences. Let me just take this up. Okay. So, like I told you, I had brushed my teeth, action 1. I went to sleep, action 2. I had eaten lunch, action 1. I washed my hands, action 2. I had washed the car. I went to my friend's house, action 2. Now let's see how we can use, how we can use Let me just take this down so that we can provide enough space for the camera. Okay, now the first one, we are going to deal with these three link words and these also three link words. Now, because after and although are followed by action 1, past perfect, and then action 2, past simple, as easy as that. Okay? So after I had brushed my teeth, I went to sleep. That's action 1, and this is action 2. Before, when, and by are all followed by action 2 and then action 1. So before I went to sleep, I had brushed my teeth. As easy as that. Okay, now let's go down and see. Let me just take this up. Okay. Now, these are the two graphs that you could depend on to understand these two sentences when joined together. Now, more examples. Action 1, after Abdullah, okay, now let's say like Abdullah had finished auditing the final balance sheets, he showed them. So now had finished is action 1, showed is action 2. Now I'm going to use after, should be followed by action 1, past perfect, and then action 2, past simple. Now before Abdullah showed, that's action 2, and then had finished, action 1. Okay, another example. Salim had brushed his teeth, the one we took before. Salim went to sleep. Again, had brushed is action 1, went is action 2. So after is followed by action 1, had brushed, and then went, action 2. While before is followed by action 2, and then action 1. Okay, now let's go down to the exercise. All that you have to do is to look for clues. Okay, look for clues. Okay. Now, in this case, you're going to depend on the use of the link words or transitions. Now, after, followed by action 1, past perfect, had slept, had spent, decided, that's action 2. Umar, before, is preceded by action 1, had phoned, then followed by action 2. Selma, after, preceded by action 2, turned, followed by action 1, had finished. When, followed by action 2, then had started, action 1, had already started. After, followed by action 1, then action 2, fed. Although, followed by action 1, past perfect, had arrived, then action 2 was able. Now, after, preceded by action 2, managed, followed by action 1, had gone. By the time. Arrived, action 2, so we should have action 1, had already prepared. Because preceded by action 2, then action 1. So felt, had worked. After Columbus had discovered, that's action 1, he returned to Spain, that's action 2. Before, followed by action 2, okay, followed by action 2, so we say before they moved, and then action 1 had sold. After, preceded by action 2, then action 1 had found. Now before, always followed by action 2, then action 1 had washed. After, preceded by action 2, then action 1 had arrived. And the last one, before, followed by action 2, invited, and then action 1 had bought. Thank you for being with me today. Our next tutorial is going to deal also with the past simple with another tense. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you very much.